Hey everyone, so it's been a little while since I've done a garden update. We've been doing a lot in the garden, I just haven't got around to filming it. I've been so busy doing the top workshop, which I've been doing today, actually earth bagging. That's why I'm quite scruffy. Well, I'm always scruffy to be honest, but yeah, that's why I'm extra scruffy. But it's Saturday today, evening, it's quite a nice evening, sort of sunny, overcast. Weather's been pretty good to the garden. It started off as a pretty slow start in spring. It was really cold and then it was really wet and then it was quite dry and things didn't seem to get going, but in the last sort of 3 weeks, a month, everything's really taken off and the garden's looking really good. We've done quite a bit of changes to the garden. We did have the raised beds before that I put in out of pallet wood, and we didn't really get on with those. They were okay, they served us well and we got quite a lot of food out of them, but we found that the in-ground beds, the no-dig style in-ground beds, just work better, less slugs and just more productive, so we changed them all. As you can see, that is behind me. So before, that used to be 4 or 5 boxes, I can't even remember now, and now we have them all as just 1 or 2 long beds. It's less grass to cut and more space. I'll give you a tour around the garden, just show you what we've got going on. I've actually tried to make this video, sorry the sun's just come out, it's really bright. Oh, that's better. See, I've actually tried to make this video a few times, but the sound's been not great and I kept on just not having time to edit it, so everything's a bit out of date. So I'm just going to put in some clips of some things. We've harvested some garlic and when I planted the greenhouse for the first time, and I'll show you it now. Come along about 3 weeks later from when those clips were made. So yeah, let's have a little tour around the place and I'll show you what's been going on. So I'll just give a quick overview of the garden, try and hold the camera as high up as I possibly can so you can get a wide view of it, and I'll take you around and show you the individual plants and how they're doing. So yeah, I'll take you up. Okay, so we might as well start at the bottom. This is the very lowest bed, as you can see. This is brassicas, that's why it's netted, so specifically that is swede. We lost a few to slugs, that's why there's some gaps, but generally they're looking quite good. Swede was one of our best crops last year, did really well for us, so we've planted quite a few. Just past that is a patch that's been now planted with, oh no, sorry, that hasn't been planted yet, but in amongst here is planted with some more swede that's just coming up. These are some broccoli that are just starting to produce some broccoli. Not doing that well, got a lot of slug damage, didn't get a great start. We lost quite a few, as you can see, that's why they're intercropped with swede again now. And we've got these cabbage, which they're going to make some cabbages, they're just a bit small, getting some slug damage. But this is the worst of we've had so far. So behind that we have a small bed of lettuce. We did about 3 times that amount of lettuce last year and we just couldn't eat it all. There was just way too much of it. So we've just gone way less lettuce this year. We just pick the outer leaves, just go around, pick them when we want them, put them in salads or whatever. And that's more than enough for us because they just keep growing and growing and growing. Next to them, some more swede that we had, some seedlings. Unfortunately the cats dug most of them up, but we've got plenty of others. Next to them, this is some leeks. So they're just multi-sown leeks in clumps of between 3 and 4 ideally, but I can see some that need thinning out. But yeah, they're leeks. Past them is some multi-sown onions, and those are doing really well. Those have just taken off really. Yeah, really looking quite nice. Just past that was garlic, but we've actually harvested the garlic now. I'll show you that. We got that hanging up and drying, and now that has gone into sweet corn. So under there is now sweet corn. They're just coming up. As you can see, sweet corn did alright for us last year. We didn't quite have enough time for it to finish, but we had quite a lot of baby sweet corn, and that was good to have. The bed behind that, we've got squash. So these ones here, and there's a random self-sown potato there, but these ones here are winter squash, and the 2 there are summer squash or courgette or zucchini, depending on where you are in the world. and the odd carrot that's popped up on its own. We tend to leave stuff, if something pops up and we think it wants to grow there, we leave it. Just past that is our potatoes. So these are main crop potatoes, and then there's an early variety just past. They're definitely making potatoes, and we're going to start harvesting some of these earlies soon. They took a long time to come up and got quite a bit of frost damage, but as you can see, they're doing pretty well now. So that's the potatoes. Behind them we've got parsnips. Again, got quite a lot of damage initially, and we lost quite a few. That's why there's an advanced clump, but we've replanted them and we're getting the little seedlings coming up now, so they should fill in. Behind there I think that is some chard and some onions intercropped. Along from there we have some carrots. Again, had some germination issues, but we're slowly getting that filled in. Just there, look, there's some younger ones. We should get a decent crop off them. Just could have done with being a little bit closer together, a few more seed. Past that, what is that? I think it's beetroot. Is it beetroot? Yeah, I think it's beetroot. We've been having some trouble with it going to seed, unfortunately. Yeah, for some reason they just keep trying to go to seed. It is bolt hardy beetroot, but it just keeps trying to go to seed. That's spinach, more beetroot, but as you can see, just keeps trying to go to seed. We don't know why, but yeah, it's not been that successful. Here's a successful plant, but has fallen over a bit in the wind. That's our peas. Peas are looking really good, really nice. The peas are, just to give you an idea where they are, the peas are just behind the squash. As you can see, they're doing really well. There's a few things in the world more tasty than fresh peas. So we've been eating quite a lot of these. A lot of these are petit pois peas. So we've just been, you just eat them, the whole thing, and they are just delicious. You know, I just come and eat them straight off the plant, because I mean, that is one of my favourite tastes in the world. Right? Unless you grow your own, you don't get that flavour. So just behind them we have runner beans. They're just getting going really. Late start because it was really cold, so I didn't get them planted till quite late. But they're doing quite well now. As you can see, they're starting to climb up the poles. And we actually had the runner beans in the same spot last year, so we haven't actually moved them. But apparently, according to Charles, it doesn't make too much difference. But I don't think we'll put them here again next year. But they did really well last year, so we'll see if they do as well this year. So moving on, just past them is our old cold frame. It's not really got much use now. We'll keep it just in case we run out of space in the greenhouse. But yeah, just past that we have our broad bean bed, which is looking pretty good. We didn't have any success with broad beans last year. I think it's because it was compost issues, but they're doing well this year and beans are starting to develop on them. Let's see if we can find some. There's some more developed than others, but they've flowered now and they are creating beans. Let's take you around. There's a good sized one down there. There we go. So yeah, oh, there's quite a few there actually. Can you see that in there? Yeah, so they're starting to develop. Looks like we're going to get a crop off of those. We're a little bit behind in the greenhouse. You know, I only got it finished fairly late, and we only got plants potted up and seeds in trays fairly late. And so yeah, we're all a bit late with that, and then we just put down basically fairly fresh compost and planted straight in it, so that's not ideal either. So we're a little bit behind with the greenhouse, but it is coming along. I think I planted the tomatoes out of the seed trays in here about 2 and a bit weeks ago, something like that. I'll put in some clips of that now, and then I'll show you where they're at now about 3 weeks later. And today is the day we're gonna get the greenhouse planted. So we're putting some little rows of compost on top, and then we're planting them, and then leave this current compost that's on the surface as the walkways. Hey everyone, it's evening. I've got this compost out in the workshop in the greenhouse today. I've been working on the workshop windows, and for the evening, just for a little evening job, I'm gonna get all these strings hung. So when I designed this greenhouse, it was never really built for massive floor space. You see a lot of greenhouses when, if you buy them, whatever, often they're on a concrete floor with like racks and pots and stuff. And I'm not really into pots, potting stuff. Stuff never grows right in a pot. It needs a massive pot to grow right. The idea of this greenhouse is it is essentially like the ground under here is just amazingly rich compost and topsoil and everything a plant needs. And it's a fairly small floor space with rich soil and a very high area, so we can grow plants high up these strings, so we make use of all this space right up into the top of the roof there. And that basically makes a huge use of space. We've got this really fertile soil, so they're not going to be wanting for space down there, and we have all this space upwards, so we can just curl them up these strings and grow them up there. Idea from Charles Dowding's YouTube channel. He's a real pro, and I tend to copy basically what he does because he knows what he's doing. I'm all about that. So yeah, I'm just running these strings up. I'm going to have 2 rows of tomatoes in the middle, a row of cucumbers on that edge, and a row of aubergines and peppers along this other wall here. So I feel like as far as keeping stuff in pots and stuff goes, I think you should just get stuff out as quick as possible. Like we sow stuff in these module trays, but they can't grow long in those. Instead of repotting them, I mean that's work, and instead of repotting them, I just think just get them out as quick as possible, get them in the ground. I don't think plants like being in pots. If they get too hot, root systems get all hot, and then it's any good for them. Plonk that string underneath the plant's roots and build the soil up around it. That'll be a happy tomato. See where that string's hanging? Back there. Just repeat about, I don't know, 30 times. Right, that's all the tomatoes and cucumber. Just a little row of cucumber back there. 2 rows of tomatoes and a little row there. They're a bit dry, so they're not looking that great, but they're going to perk up now that they're in this lovely greenhouse. So we'll come back in a week or 2, see how they're getting on. Hopefully by then I should be able to plant my aubergines. They're just too small at the moment. Where are they? There. Oh, sorry. They are those there at the moment. So yeah, a bit small yet. So, but they're going to be going along this wall with peppers. I almost forgot to water them. Use me spring. Get the watering can in. Okay. It is really handy that. I sort of questioned how handy it would be and whether it was worthwhile taking up the space and if I should divert the water and run it outside a little bit. But it being inside is excellent. I mean, I'd have had to go outside, turn on the tap or whatever. It's really handy having it there. I don't think it'll run in the depths of summer, to be honest. But the amount that it's run this year so far has been handy on its own. So yeah, good choice and a good find. So here is the greenhouse about 2.5 weeks later. The tomatoes are a bit slow to get going, but they seem to be just starting to really take off now, and they're just starting to look quite good. We've got a few different varieties. I planted two main different varieties that we got the seeds from, but some of them, like that one there and that one there, are ones that have just popped up on their own in the beds, and we transplanted over and replaced slug damaged ones. So yeah, they're looking quite good. They're just starting to really take off. Over the back there, as you saw me planting, there is cucumber, and same to them, they're just starting to get going now. And then along the back there on the left is peppers. Again, they're only planted literally just the other day, these were. And then just past them is, ooh, let me just turn around, just past them is some aubergine, and they're struggling a bit. I don't think the night temperature's really warm enough for them without the door. But yeah, we'll see how we get on with those. But everything's looking good in here, really. Pretty happy with it. I think we're going to get a decent crop off of it. Looking lovely. So that is the garden currently. As I said, it was a bit behind, but I have a feeling the season might be a little bit longer, make up for it. As you see, everything looking pretty good. I forgot to show you the garlic we've harvested. Let me take you and show you that now quickly. Yeah, they're currently hanging up under the porch here. I'll show you them. We just hung them up under the porch here and drying them out. Pretty good, really. First time growing garlic, and I think they turned out really quite well. Yeah, they're drying nicely, and hopefully we could store them. We should have about a year's worth, I would have thought. So that is the garden as it currently stands. You're seeing this video fairly soon after I've made the video, so that is basically how the garden is now. I'll try and get a bit better at doing updates on it, maybe like 2 weekly or something, or if we do any harvesting. But talking of harvesting, if anyone's interested, I did keep a rough tally of what we managed to grow last year, and I'll just go over that quickly at the end of the video for anyone interested. I think we grew about 280 kilos or something like that. So yeah, we'll see how we do this year in comparison. But yeah, generally looking really good, really pleased with it. I think we've almost doubled the size of the garden with removing the boxes and adding the greenhouse. It's nearly double in actual growing space. Yeah, we'll see how it comes. Like I say, it's a bit behind and it seems to be just picking up now, so from now on 2 weekly updates, we should see stuff really start to pick up. Here are totals from last year. It was our first year growing and we actually did quite well, really. You can see the numbers there. I didn't put them into a spreadsheet and they're rounded up to the nearest sort of half kilo or so, but they're pretty accurate numbers, and you can see we did quite good. Swede was the best thing we grew. It really grew like amazingly well. Some of them were huge. Potatoes did really well, but we just found that we just didn't do a big enough area, so we've done about twice the area this year. And yeah, you can see by the numbers we didn't do bad at all. 219.2 kilograms for the growing season. The totals are over a full year, but we didn't grow anything through the winter. It was just spring and summer. Alright, so hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.